We're currently at the 2023 Audrain Concours in Newport. We're on the lawn of the Breakers, as you can see behind me, and we are thrilled to be here.
The Audrain Concours d'Elegance is the pinnacle of automotive prestige, drawing vintage and classic cars from across the nation. This annual event celebrates automotive heritage with a dazzling display of meticulously restored automobiles, captivating enthusiasts and collectors worldwide. It's a captivating blend of art, history, and automotive culture that showcases the enduring allure of fine cars. Dennis Cusack, a real estate broker and car collector, brought his 1939 Graham to the Breakers with him. This is his story.
Yeah, we're ready to go. As ready as we're ever going to be. When I was 15, I got my first car. Started tinkering on that, and by the time I was 16, I had my driver's license. I already had my car ready. And that was an older car. And then my first car, I was just into them. My first real car was a 63 Chevy Super Sport. That was what car I took to college. I just got into it as a kid, and it just stuck. And in fact, it's the one thing that's been consistent. I mean, in fact, I love it as much now as I did when I started doing it. Just like I love real estate as much as I love it. I mean, it's sort of like the same thing. They go hand in hand, my two passions.
Cars and their owners come from all over the nation for the Audrain Concours d'Elegance. Driving into the Breakers with your vehicle is every car enthusiast's dream, and today Dennis gets to do just that.
Hi, we're at the 2023 Audrain Concours in Newport. We're on the lawn of the Breakers. I'm Dennis Cusack, and this is my 1939 Graham Model 97 Combination Coupe, aka Shark Nose Graham. I bought this car in 2008, completely disassembled, and as you can see now, it's totally restored. Most of which I did by myself, but had a lot of help along the way, of course. I've actually bought this car on eBay in 2008, and over an 8-year period, restored it to where it is now. So I finished it in 2016. The coupes are rare. They made a lot of 4-doors. I think they made between 8,000 and 14,000 of these, and between 38 and 40. But the coupes were rare. They didn't start making the coupes until mid-1939, and by 40 they were out of business. The nice thing about it, and everyone calls it, it's a Model 97, but they call it a Shark Nose just simply because of the front end. Amos Northup was an industrial designer who designed the car. He died, this was his last design before he died, but it was called Spirit in Motion, meaning it's meant to be look like it's moving even though it's sitting still. Let's check out the inside. Like I said, this particular model is supercharged. You could get them in either a standard engine or a supercharged. The supercharger gives it a lot more pep, and it actually gives really good gas mileage. But this particular car has 3 on the tree. The interior's all been redone. I found that I was able to source the original fabric, or my upholsterer, Dave Palmer, was able to source the original fabric. So this is exactly the way it was in '39. This was like a mid-level car. It wasn't like a Cadillac or a Packard like to our right, or a Accord behind us. Those were higher-end cars. This was just like an everyday man's car. But this particular model was dressed up, had a lot of accessories. The supercharger being one, steering wheel, the wire steering wheel was an option. The clock was an option. Carpet, believe it or not. Most of the cars came with mat floors, rubber mat floors, so this one started dressed up. It wasn't easy to find parts, but the Graham community is really, really good, and I was able to find everything.
After a few hours of looking at the other cars on the lawn and chatting with new and old friends, the judges put in their picks for the prize-winning cars. Today, the CEO of the Audrain Group, Donald Osborne, will present the awards. For someone like Dennis, the joy of being here is enough.
Good for him. Is it the Lincoln or the Continental?
Any nerves? Yeah. This is like next level competition. This is just more like being here, really.
If you're wondering why such an event is held here at the Breakers, well, the grandeur and historical significance of the Vanderbilt mansion perfectly complement the luxurious and classic nature of the cars on display at the Concours d'Elegance. The Breakers is a testament to the wealth and extravagance of the Gilded Age elite and provides a glimpse into the opulent lifestyle of the Vanderbilt family. It remains an iconic symbol of Newport's history and architectural heritage, the perfect place for all these beautiful cars to be showcased. For true car lovers like Dennis, just being in the presence of these vintage vehicles and getting to see these collections is a reward in itself.
So we just got back from the Adrien Concours, my first one, and it was an absolutely amazing day. The setting, the cars, overall it was just a great experience, very well run event, and I'm really thrilled to have taken the time to come up here and show my car. The class was packed full of insanely nice cars. I think our class was won by a outstanding Cadillac. People ask me why I restored this car. And I really don't have an answer other than I love what they call orphan cars, cars that aren't made anymore. And this is one of them. Graham, Packard, Kaiser Frazer, Hudson, all these American cars that got knocked out by the big three. As I tell my friends, all these new electric cars that you see now, these are the Grahams and the Hudsons and the Packards of the 30s. I mean, there's a lot of them now, but in the end, there's only going to be a handful of them. That's sort of a reason why I chose it. But why I really restored it is just I just fell in love with the front end of this car. Every time I've seen one, the first time I saw it, it burned into my memory. Then once I realized it was a coupe, and the coupes were rare, it just made me want to do it even more. And this is like any one of these other projects I've been into. I mean, once you get into them and you learn the history of it, you just want to do it more. I mean, so even though it took 8 years, it was well worth it. I mean, and here we are today. It allowed me to show up at the Concours and be on the lawn of the Breakers. I mean, it was amazing.